Hello and welcome to a very, very, very special edition of Storytelling on Orchard Street. Just look at what you got here. We have three wonderful poets and human beings, and we have a fourth one. Hopefully we're going to get on the phone. The reason all these terrific guests are here today is because Storytelling on Orchard Street is going to have its first stage at the New York City Poets Festival on Governor's Island. It will be on Sunday, the 18th? 19th. 18th is a Saturday, at 1 o'clock on the Algonquin stage. And these are three of the four readers that are going to be there. And so I'm really excited to have everybody here together. Wayne Kral.
Hello, thank you.
Francine Witte.
Hello.
Matthew Hupert.
Hello.
Maybe just move the mic a little closer to you, Francine.
Well, move
Yeah.
closer to the mic.
Yeah. And later, we're going to do George Wallace is going to join us, hopefully on the phone. He had car problems and couldn't make it out from Huntington. So, Wayne, you were my first guest.
Yes.
And how that came about, and I will repeat this until I stop doing this, but Wayne was really the jump board for all of what I'm doing. I think if I hadn't come to see my friend Phil Gamage read it at your first floor walk up, I don't know what would have happened since then. Because I gave him my book, and Wayne invited me to read, and then I met Philip Giambri and Linda Kleinbub, and then they told me all the other readings to go to, and it just catapulted me. If I didn't do that, I might never have read in front of anybody. I only gone to, that was my second live reading.
Wow.
Right before the COVID, the pandemic, I did my first reading at an open mic, and then it shut down. Everything shut down. And then subsequently I put a book out, and this all happened. And coming here was where you were doing your reading then.
Right.
I was like, oh, they have a podcast studio for free? It's like, oh yeah, I could do that. And the rest is history. And that's why I know all you terrific people.
You've been doing it for 2 years or 3?
I think I started in 2022.
Oh, wow, 4 years.
It was after, because the reading I came to you was when I put the book out.
Right.
So it was that summer, and you had just started, I believe.
I did. Yeah, this opened Memorial Day weekend
Right.
4 years ago.
Right. And I think
Yeah.
I was one of your early guests or readers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were.
So anyway, you were my first. George was my 13th. He was and of course, having him, he just opened a lot of doors for me too. And Francine, you were 22, and Matthew, you were 23. You guys were back to back and belly to belly. Well, no, not the belly to belly part. So let's just start with you, Wayne. I just told everybody where they can find your episodes, and then find out more about you guys, at least at that point, because now we're going back a couple of years, you're all guests. But do you want to catch people up on anything you got going new that you want to talk about?
Well, I'm still doing a series.
Right.
It's not at this bookstore anymore. Now it's at a bar restaurant at the corner of First and First in their Nexus Lounge, and I do that every other Monday night.
Right, it's in the basement.
And it's invited readers. It's
Right.
not an open mic, and it's 5 each time. So that's what I've been doing.
What people might not know is what a great fine artist you are. And I think we all got to get together and figure out how to get this man his gallery show. You've seen his works, right? No? Wayne he's fantastic.
Well, thank you.
He is. And a musician. And now an actor.
And now
Will
an
you
actor.
cut it out? Stop it with the talents, all right, already?
Right.
Okay. Francine, what have you been up to? Well, I actually didn't read I'll read them as we go. What have you been up to? But I do have bios.
Okay.
But we don't have to stick to that either. What would you like to talk about?
Well, I have 2 Zoom shows that I do, 2 Zoom readings. They're flash fiction.
Right.
And one is called F-Bomb, and it's every month. And the other one is called The Prose Garden, which I co-host with someone, Meg Pogris, and she's in the UK. And we do that, it turns out to be once every other month
Okay.
or once every year.
Right.
And I edit Flash Boulevard
Right, which is terrific.
and SoFlo Pojo, the Flash section. So it
Right.
keeps me out of trouble.
Yeah. And you have and a recent book.
Yeah, I have a new book, Some Distant Pin of Light,
Right, cool.
and I'll be reading a few poems from it
Awesome.
today. Yeah.
And Matthew?
I'm still running a once-a-month open mic at Otto's Shrunken Head. Very vibrant open mic on the third Thursday of every month. It's really a blast. And doing a reading here and there, and that's pretty much it.
And you have a son that graduated college.
I have a son that graduated college this week,
That's a big
which
deal.
has completely changed my own relationship to myself that I'm still trying to figure out. Now.
I can't imagine how it feels. My son's at Kingsborough and he's looking to transfer. So like graduation day, when we get there, it's going to be such a relief.
It's an amazing feeling because at
Right.
the same time, it's like, now all of a sudden I don't have a child that's a child anymore.
Right.
I have a child that's a young man and,
Right.
setting out into the world. But
Well, congratulations, Dad.
Thank you.
You've done good.
I have to say, he's a better human than I am, and that's all you can
Well,
ask
I
for
don't
as a parent.
know. We don't know about that.
I do.
Yeah, all right. But is he as smart and funny as you?
He is very smart, very funny,
All right,
very
so-
very loving. He's
Well,
he's a good human.
we're supposed to get better with each generation.
That's right.
Why don't we, everybody ready to read?
Sure.
Okay, we'll start with you, Wayne. We'll go around
All
in
right.
circles.
So just do a poem.
Yeah, we'll do one each.
All right.
Turn around.
I've been doing music more and more lately, so I'm gonna read one of my songs, if that's okay.
Sure, it's your gig.
And they're kind
Your
of
choice. It's dealer's choice.
Okay. So this is called Where is the Dive? From where I sit, in my house, on my block, in my city, I've seen a lot. People come, people go, some you wish would leave, and some leave a hole in your heart. The old come down, the new go up. You wonder if there's room in this city for you and your stuff. Where is the dive? Like an old friend of mine, someplace I can go to get away from it all and be alone if I want to. Zara wrote Man Ray, start a group over there. Man in New York City said, Dada is already here. Bike lanes kill, sidewalks maim, car fares crazy, you get stuck on the train, that's New York. Everybody says it was better back then. In some ways it was, in other ways it depends. Where is the dive? Like an old friend of mine, someplace I can go to get away from it all and be alone if I want to.
I had 2 carpal tunnel surgeries, and actually 3 on this hand, 1 on this hand. And the fallout from was I can't snap my fingers anymore.
Oh, wow.
And I was a really good snapper.
the
So
individual-
I didn't not snap for you because I didn't like it. I just can't snap.
No, that's no more inviting you to beatnik parties, I guess.
Yeah. Francine.
All right, so this is called In My Poems, Sometimes I Have Children.
Oh, I love this one.
Daughters mostly, because I know their routines, flat irons and tampons. To invent boys, I would need to ask questions, learn to talk sports. In my poems, sometimes my children appreciate me. Pretend daughter Fiona says things like, Mom, if it weren't for you, I'd be living in an essay for crying out loud. She's right. If I were a made-up child, I would prefer the crinoline swish of a simile, so much kinder than the hard angles of nonfiction. A pretend son wouldn't be so generous. He would say, he's a lie I tell myself to feel better about what I haven't done. I would laugh at him. Pretend mothers can do that. Then I would sit him down and tell him, my poems aren't lies at all. They're just the truths that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Nice.
Matthew?
All right, here's a little changing gears a little bit. There's a New York poem here called Dear Neighbor.
All right.
Dear neighbor, welcome to the building. If I may, a few requests. If you must leave garbage in the hallway overnight, I don't know why you'd must. Please double bag it. Fewer mice and less stank is appreciated. The laundry takes 1 hour, not 5. We've all been drunk at 3 a.m., but yelling at my lock will never open it with your key, and I'd prefer not a Botham Jean situation. Is that socks or cabbage? Please either fuck less loudly or invite me over. If it has to sound like it's in my room, it should be. Recycling goes out on Fridays. Thanks in advance, your neighbor.
Nice. So when I introduce you guys, I'm just going to give myself a plug now. So I have a new book, relatively new, called From Here to Institutionalized. Also, I'd like to plug, I do a variety show every 2 months at Young Ethel's, poetry, music, comedy. Never had a juggler or a mime, but
It's
you
time.
never know.
It's time.
Right, so the next one is June 20th at 3 o'clock. Young Ethel's is in South Slope, Park Slope. And I think in August I'm going to start add a short little open mic to it. So, ouch. We'll have to talk about that closer to the date. This is called Shape I'm In. I'm a shadow cast on a stucco wall, a man with baggage 10 feet tall, a creative motherfucker with no sense at all, faults, warts, and all. I write words filled with figures loaded with pain. Demons come a knocking, pretend I'm not home, not ready to spin my life inside out. Moments of weakness, too tired to play the game, wishing to dream of a future better than the now. Trying to make my mark, falling short in the count, shooting a gun with a crooked shot. It's all I have for now. Do you want in? We can take a ride and drink tonic and sapphire gin, have a chuckle about the shape I'm in. Oh, you don't know the shape I'm in.
Little band reference. Nice.
Wayne, the floor is yours.
Okay, well, since I'll read this just because of Matthew's poem.
An answer poem?
Not really an answer, but it's
All right.
the same thing that...
It's too bad the 50s, there used to be, like answer songs used to be a big deal.
Oh, yeah,
Like there was Hound Dog, the original by Big Mama Thornton.
right.
And then, what was his name?
Rufus
Right,
Thomas. Yeah.
Right, did Bearcat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also the Hank Ballard and the Midnighters did the Annie songs.
I love that group.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Annie
yeah.
songs were really
Right.
great stuff.
All right, so now we're going to do an answer
All right,
poem.
so this is an answer song. It's called Wish List. My upstairs neighbors have a 3-year-old, and I wish they would teach her how to walk. I mean, I know she can run and scream and jump up and down and run from room to room and gallop and sound like a herd of wild ponies, but man, do I wish they would teach her how to walk.
Yeah. We're getting a little bit of a neighbor New York theme. You have one of those?
I don't, actually.
She has nice neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Good for you.
Yeah.
And I bet you she's a very nice neighbor, too.
Well, sometimes.
Okay. You're on.
Death sends me an email. But this was the year I was going to be young. Walk the hell out of myself, unzip my skin suit, and Tinkerbell the globe. I really don't have time for death, I say to my computer, and send death's email to the trash. Besides, if it's important, death can always text. Or better yet, call. The way my sister called that last time, though I didn't pick up the phone, no way to know it was the last chance I'd have. But see, death is that kind of asshole, lurking behind the curtains and jumping out, surprise. Other times winking and winking, the way he did my mother's last agony year. No way to know what's on death's fickle mind, and so I fish out the email and open it. Turns out to be a spam from a window company. Death to bad insulation in the subject line, and I just misread. I sigh and settle back. I can be young some other time, travel some other year. And then I think about Death sitting at his own computer, clearing out the backlog. I can only hope my name is in some kind of file marked "Get to this later." The kind of email he'd fuss over the wording, fidget every comma, maybe show it to his wife for feedback, rewrite it a couple of 100 times before he presses send.
No, right.
Nice.
That's a good one. And Mr. Hupert?
This one is called Blindfolds, Bandages, Veils, and Shrouds Are Not the Same.
Oh, nice short title.
Oh, I have some really long titles. But we were worshiping belief in blind justice. We cover her eyes in front of the courthouse. We pat each other's backs, celebrating our enlightened view. Turning on the lights means nothing to the blind. Blind justice is blind when open eyes are required. Blind justice is blind to inequalities that shape outcome before it begins. Strip the blindfold off. We do not seek equality in outcome, but equity in access. Maybe we can see justice then.
Here, here. I'm enjoying this quite a bit. I'm going to do this again, like have multiple poets.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Because poetry is always a conversation with itself.
that's true. Yeah. I had a thought. No, I lost it.
Sorry.
I was going to say something, but anyway. I don't know if I read this one yet. It's called No Winner. The monkey does monkey shit and don't give a fuck about manners or whose space he's in. The monkey climbs up high, he swings his body branch to branch, laughing his way to the top. A storm is coming, the monkey feels it. He's got a sixth sense for that. The monkey holds on tight as his muscles get taut, waiting for something bad to happen. Winds whip fiercely, trees sway to and fro. The monkey is losing strength, but is determined to survive. The monkey calls out to other monkeys, but no other motherfucker monkeys replied. The monkey was getting tired. The pulsing of the rhythm of his heartbeat was getting loud. The monkey realized that if his mind was strong, the storm would soon pass. Birds were chirping loudly as they ascended fast. The getaway left the monkey alone to face the wrath of nature's battle. There would be no winner tonight. Do you know David Bartholomew? The
monkey song?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I think that was in the back of my head.
I could hear it while you were reading
I
it.
know, it's so weird, because
Yeah.
after I wrote it, and after Fred put music to it, and after I did it a few times, I heard that song, like, holy shit, that was in the back. You guys know who I'm talking about? Dave Bartholomew?
The
He was-
monkey, what's the catchphrase for that?
No, he was like a really important New Orleans jazz musician.
Oh, he's producer.
Musician. Producer.
Yeah, he was
Fats
amazing.
Domino. That was one of his
When he
acts.
died, there was a second line through Washington
Yeah.
Square Park.
Oh, cool.
And,
Yeah.
So it was very cool. I mean,
Yeah, he
that's
was-
the influence that he had.
Right. He was a very big deal
Oh, he was a
in
real big
50s
deal.
New Orleans music.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now me.
If I talk too much about music, just kick me under the table.
Okay, let's see.
But that's how something can be in your head and it sparks something you don't know it was there.
Yeah, true enough. Let's see here. All right, sorry, I should have.
That's okay, man.
This is
We're
called-
casual.
This is called Let Me Out. Well, we all wake up to a mess we never asked for. Let me out, show me the door. Let me out, show me the door. Well, we're in a mess like nothing we've seen before. Let me out, it looks like a war. Let me out, open the door. Where did the good time go? Where did the good time go? Well, I'm not shy about having my fun, and I get pissed when I'm told it's gone, taken away. Let me out, open the door. Let me out, I can't take it anymore. Let me out, it looks like a war. Let me out.
Oh, yeah, man. Let that man out, for Christ's sake.
Nice. That has a real blues rhythm to it.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
nice. Really nice.
Thank you.
Is that going to wind up in a song?
Yeah, it's a song.
It is a song.
It
yeah.
is.
You've seen him play in guitar, sing and play guitar, right? Have you, Francine?
No, I haven't.
You got to get to know
Yeah.
Wayne a little better.
Well, I'm playing, my last show is June 29th of this season, and I always play the last show, so.
And have you had Francine as a
Oh, yeah.
feature? Oh, I would hope so. I was going to put a good word in for you in case you didn't.
The moon takes the E train. Sorry, the moon takes the E train. Stumbles drunk from a downtown dive, swirling himself milk into coffee, down the stairs and onto the train, and then forgets his way home. Gets off instead at 40 Deuce, looks around and remembers the old-style scene, hookers and porn flicks, how often in his fullness he would push some poor sucker into Mr. Nasty's peep show. Watch him skulk out later, face wiped off, slither home to Bridge and Tunnel, lighter $20. But then the whole place went carnival, wax museums and kiddie theater, life-size Elmo and Elsa, who will pose with you for a hefty tip. And he's looking around at all the lights blinking into the darkened dark. And that's when a couple approaches the moon and asks to take a selfie. How much it would mean to them, what with the moon being the thing that made them fall in love. And the moon has heard this all before, how he's pulled the tides and planted romance, but really, he has a long, long night ahead, trying to remember which subway will take him back to the sky. But instead, the moon takes a breath, looks at his reflection in the couple's eyes, nestles in between them, and smiles.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
All right.
Very nice. All right.
MH?
This is a short one. It's called Emergency Warning System. Due to the impending apocalypse, your rebirth has been preempted. Because the unusual volume of assholes and innocents rushing the line and crowding the bardo longer than normal waits are to be expected. Sorry for any temporary inconvenience.
All right. I'm going to read one from my book, and it's one of the few poems that is actually true to life. It's called Ancestral Tree. My father had an Uncle Tony, and both are now passed away. Uncle Tony was an iceman. No, he didn't kill people, he delivered ice. Big blocks of ice up flights of stairs with large tongs or straps, I presume. I imagine he was really strong. This was in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. You know, when a fridge was called an ice box because it was a box with ice that kept food cool. I'm talking a long time ago. It's been years since he passed. My dad passed in 2018. Before Dad passed away, he gave me a cavatelli machine. Cavatelli is a pasta shape. Uncle Tony gave it to my dad probably 50, 60 years ago, and in the box were Uncle Tony's recipes on note cards. Now that's history to me, a family heirloom, if you know what I mean. Maybe it's time to make a batch of cavatelli and tap into my ancestral tree.
Nice.
Have you guys ever had cavatelli?
Yeah.
Yeah. You make homemade pasta? This guy, he kills me with his food pictures. It's like, not only he looks like the food's delicious, but it's like, Mr. Cameraman over here.
Yeah.
They always look like, professional shots.
Professional food. Yeah.
Poetry, food, and photography are three of my main loves. So.
Yeah. Poetry,
PvP.
food, and music for me. Although I do like taking photographs, but I'm not in your league. All right, so let's try maybe one more round, and then we'll call George. And,
All right.
yeah.
All right, this one's called Lower East Side Window Shopping. When I drink and am enlightened, watching one foot behind the other, knowing home is around any corner, passing banks, boutiques, why bother? Snub my nose at your disorder, sitting next to dinosaurs, windows covered, gates down, mindful of inept robbers, pandering to your dismissal of the leftovers. I miss Lenny for what he said. I miss Duchamp because he's dead. I miss Mick before he danced with Taylor Swift. I want to break your window, but I got to buy a brick.
Great.
Do you go to art galleries like pretty much every day?
Just about.
Pretty close,
Yeah,
right?
pretty close.
That guy, he lives a good life. You guys should get together. Like, you can make him dinner, take him to the art gallery with you.
I've run into him in a museum or two, though.
Have
Yeah,
you?
we have. Yeah, we did.
Francine, are you an art lover? Or you a museum? You like to go to museums?
Not as much as I should, really.
Me too.
Yeah.
I should do it more often. Yeah.
Should is
Should.
violent,
No, I know.
violent communication.
True.
Don't do it to yourself.
I would like to do it more often myself. Yes. Okay, Francine.
The heart, a definition. It beats. It tells you who and who not to love. It tick-tocks your body, easing you further and further away from your birth. It is a valentine cut up in velvet and filled up with chocolate. It doesn't stop until you die. It is etched on the bark of a tree. It is the acorn inside the tree you turned into. It is a queen in a country of a deck of cards. It breaks. It will break again. It is already broken.
Now, speaking of art, I'm a member of a online poetry group where we're writing poems every day, and this one is actually this
Wow,
week.
every day. That's pretty
Yeah,
impressive.
well, some of them are good.
Yeah.
And the one prompt.
What's it called? What's it called?
I don't know that it even has a name.
Oh, okay. Is
but-
it a private thing?
Yeah, but I'm sure if you,
Okay.
I could hook you up with it. What's really interesting is
No, I was just curious for the listeners.
well,
or
it's
the
it's
viewers.
the idea is that it's you pair up with one person for the week and you trade poems, but you're not workshopping. You're just going to respond with what's positive about it. It's just to keep people writing, and you only interact with one person per week, and then
okay.
every week a different one of the members writes 7 prompts for that week. So it's really fun, really varied.
Is it all New Yorkers or is it?
No, it's all over.
All over.
It's all
Cool.
over. It's really nice. Anyway, one just coincidentally, we're talking about art and art galleries. This is a sort of ekphrastic poem that came from a prompt from a thing called Nighthawks, based on the Hupert poem, the Hupert painting. Nighthawks. Every day, a painting by Hupert. All my selves are awake, incapable of eye contact or even conversation amongst myself, under bulbs age-yellowed, making gray thoughts a sickly daffodil, still preferable to sleep.
Yeah. You know what? It's actually I think it's way harder to write a poem that short than it is in some ways to write a longer poem. What do you guys think? Like, shorter poems can be really challenging to get enough.
I
That's
think
your
so.
Sparrow Carter.
Oh, yeah.
Sparrows are just one sentence.
Yeah. 2 words.
I write a lot of short poetry for the last couple of years. I write a lot of sort of haiku length and that stuff. I love it, but no, you have to be tight because there's no room to hide.
I have a bad memory of Sparrow Carter.
Oh.
Not him as a person, but he was on my podcast, and I always take the subway. And for some reason, I decided to drive. And then I had trouble finding parking. It was just really annoying. It was raining really hard. The podcast went great. He's a character, But then
Did he take his shoes off for the podcast?
I'm
I
sure
don't
he must
remember
have.
that part.
I'm sure he must have.
But something happened on the way home that marred my finances. I was driving, and I had to go to a memorial for a friend of mine, and so I was a little nervous. I was already agitated from the whole experience of driving into the city, and I was driving on the FDR, and I was going to go to the Battery Tunnel, and I was going too fast, but then all of a sudden the speed limit changed, 10 miles per hour, and I didn't notice it quickly, and right past it was a cop,
Of course.
and it was a $500 ticket, and my insurance went up.
400?
No, it was $200 ticket, and then a $300 fine because of how much above the speed limit it was.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and then my insurance went up, so it was a very costly.
Yeah.
Well, can I tell you a more pleasant sparrow story?
Yeah.
I was-
So this has nothing to do with Sparrow. Sparrow, don't take it.
It's not Sparrow, but this. I was reading with Sparrow up in Woodstock, and his last book had just come out, and it was a Saturday afternoon, beautiful afternoon. Shiv Mirabato's readings. I don't know if you know those, but. And I asked Sparrow, we were both features, but I was like, Sparrow, I got your book. Can you sign it for me? He said, I can't sign it today. It's Shabbat. And I didn't say you're just performing,
All right.
But what I did say to him, I said, I just talked to God, and he said he doesn't give a shit. And so I said, oh, okay, and he signed my book.
So we're halfway in, and I thought halfway in would be a good time to call George. So let's see how this goes. I hope this works.
It's like,
I'm not getting it. Whoop. Oh, shoot. Yeah, it's on there, but I don't hear it. Why not? Hello? It says it's connected. Let me put it on speakerphone. George?
Yes, Pete, how you doing?
Good. Somehow we're not getting you through the mixing board.
All right, so
How does this sound, though? Can you guys
Yeah,
hear
I
it?
can hear it, yeah.
yes,
Yeah?
yes.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm hanging in there. You?
Yeah. So Francine and Matthew and Wayne are all here. We've been reading poetry and talking about you, but in a nice way.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So you all together right now?
Yeah. Everybody say hi to George.
Hi,
Hello,
George.
George.
Hey, George.
Good to hear you. Good to hear your voice.
So how you been?
Well, I mean, my logistics suck, but my health is good and my productivity's there, so I'm in good shape.
Your productivity always seems to be there. It's insane. I've never. Every time I look, you're in another country, or you got another record out. You got movies. I don't know, whatever. It's like everything.
Yeah.
So what would you?
Just don't give me internet. Don't give me internet access to the grave, or we're all in trouble.
Uh-oh. So before have you, let's just talk a little bit. Tell the listeners, viewers. It's hard. It could be either way. What you've been up to that you'd like them to know about.
Well, I spent the past few months close to home, close to New York, taking care of some business, trying not to overextend myself internationally this year. It's been a little tough because I've got a lot of opportunities that I've had to turn down. But that's worked out okay, and I've made me more productive at home and could double down on some of my projects. And got some, I'll be appearing with you guys, at Governor's Island, and then
Right.
doing a couple of things with Three Rooms Press, Bukowski reading, by Donna Manzanon. In the fall, I've got a off-Broadway one-man show I'm putting together. Should be a lot of fun. So, yeah, lots going on.
Is there a date for that yet?
October 24th, Saturday night in October.
Okay.
October 24th, 7 p.m.
So I forgot to do this with with my other guests here. Maybe you can just let people know how they can find out more about your upcoming things. Do you have the best way to reach you online?
I'm a total Facebook slut. So I mean, if you're on Facebook and you're friends with me, you'll know what I'm doing.
Okay. And if they're not on Facebook, Instagram.
Shit out of luck.
Oh.
Shit out of
Fuck 'em.
And you've put a couple of records out recently in the last few months, it seems, right?
Well, that's one of the big projects that I've been doing a lot of work with lyrics, developing my capabilities as a lyricist, turning poems into lyrics and working with human beings and also with electronic sources and our digital sources to create music in a collaborative way.
Right.
And so I've got I'm about 10 albums out ahead of producing them and putting them on in streaming services. So
Right.
yeah, a lot of productivity there.
Right. Well, besides being an excellent poet, you were a musician most of your life, right?
Well, I was a latent musician.
Oh, okay.
I think the big inhibition for me, I was never a very good performer. At least in my own eyes, I never could play any instrument to my satisfaction that I could make it do my bidding.
Right.
So I've always had the musical capability, but not the chops.
I see.
But now I'm working with instruments and human beings that do have the chops. So
Right. But I guess your experience in playing in the past as a musician, even if you didn't think it was up to your standards, but it must have helped with the projects you're doing now.
Yeah, the structure of songs, the available instrumentation, the available arranging and use of different modalities and different instrumentation,
Right.
different tempos, and offer to create different effects that are supportive or contrasting or in one another, have synergistic levels with the lyrics. Something I've got. I mean, I guess it's in there and it's coming out.
Right. And you recently retired, correctly? Correct?
Well, I stopped teaching, if that's called retirement.
Well, I meant that part of it. Yeah, retired from teaching. I should have
Yeah.
been more specific.
I was basically a day laborer. If they gave me a rake, I would have raked the grounds, for about the same that they were paying.
Oh, it's nothing bad about manual labor. I've actually done it myself. I spent a summer on a garbage truck. Did you know that?
Were you working?
Yeah, I worked on a garbage truck, and the bad thing was it was in between my first year and second year of college, and I had been away, and all my high school friends had been away, so we went out drinking every night. And to be on the back of a garbage truck after drinking all night is not pleasant.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
You're just hanging on for dear life, But I as a small child, I just I deified garbage men. They were like these guys on stagecoaches, with rifles. They were shooting up the bad guys that were trying to knock off the stagecoach. So I had a real admiration for them.
So why don't we have you do some reading? How's that sound?
Yeah, whatever you like.
Yeah.
Whatever you like.
Well, we definitely want that.
Everybody's times, but I'll give you my time.
Okay.
So to show you, show you some of, maybe if I do two songs have been made, two poems have been made into lyrics. We can discuss the process if you want, but it's interesting to just hear it, I think. This one's called This Side of the Wall. It's about the Garden of Eden, being kicked out of the Garden of Eden, and what it's like to be on the wrong side of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the wall of Eden's not high at all, but the people are small. They cannot climb back over the wall. They cannot tunnel or run rings around it, nor buy a ticket to the other side, nor build a boat or a big borrowing machine in a plane or a car or a rocket ship that'll get them to the other side. Nope, not to the other side. They cannot preach or move their way through the wall of Eden, nor lie their way through it back to the place they used to call home, nor escape the sound of crying or praying or government slaughtering, nor stop the dying of lovers, of parents, of strangers, of friends, nor enemies, nor their brothers from foreign lands. The wall of Eden is not high. It's not high at all, but the people are small. They can't get over it. They can't get back to like it was before. They can hardly look at each other or soothe each other on this side of the wall. They'll give a little room. They'll give a little leg up or helping hand to a stranger or a friend along the way. No, not this side of the wall of Eden. They can't ignore it. They can't get around it. Lord, I'm telling you, people, you cannot return to the eternity you come from. No, you cannot get around it. No, you cannot overcome it. No, you cannot return to the eternity you come from. You just got to live on this side of the wall the best you can and taste it day after day. The wall of Eden's not high at all, but the people are small. Can hardly look at each other or soothe the suffering. Not on this side of the wall. Day after day, nor give a little break, nor give a little comfort or a helping hand to a stranger or a friend along the way. You can't get around it. You can't overcome it. You can't return to the eternity that we came from. You just gotta love each other the best that you can and face it day after day on this side of the wall.
All right. Yeah. That was great. So you said that one is also done with music?
Yeah. I could. You just Google George Wallace and Friends. This side of the wall, you'll find it.
Okay.
On YouTube.
All right. Good. What style of music was that? Because I know you've done electronic. You've done a couple of different things recently, music-wise. Is that one of the?
That one's kind of got it's got a jazz, sort of an open abstract jazz backing to it.
Okay.
But with syncopation and with a strong bass line, ostinato to give it drive.
Cool. Sounds great. What else you got for us?
Well, I got. That was pretty political, but I'll give you another political one if you have time for it.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. I'll call this one. Minneapolis Rising. I mean, these things are so topical, you know. Something bad happens and somebody tries to pull together an anthology. Somebody gets killed, somebody dies, there's a tsunami, there's something like that. And before you know it, it's gone. So making a poem based on something topical and politically or socially important du jour and making it, live longer than that day
Right.
is something, something challenging.
Yeah, for
Minneapolis,
sure. Right.
So, you can decide for yourself how this works, but look through every window. Out to work, people are rising. New generations where sunlight unmasks the darkness. New generations unmasking the old. To any window, to where snow falls and fills the empty spaces, to where incense meets the mist of streets, the mist of heroes, the mist of gods, the mist of protest and despair crystallizes in the arms of women and men in dust or web or dance or docket. Freedom through any window, flush as sunbeam in a peacock eye, the light and joy of saints and saviors, generations that will not yield to unjust governments of men. Any window where people suffer and no one knows why. Street corners where martyrs, saviors, orators meet. Saints in windows, saints in shoes, steamed up in the crisscross mess or in the shadow or spotlights cast on walls. Any window, spyglass passed from hand to hand. Hounds been feeling blind to warships in an enemy stronghold. Fog by fog with both eyes open. Horizon of sacrifice, horizon of wonder. Look through any window. Low-slung saloons, plate glass prisons, conspiratorial glances, the raw whiskey of collusion in a cut flower with a secret rainbow cast by a crystal vase through any window, by lantern light, by handshake, by the light of a generation that will not yield, a flock of birds that will give way to freedom, emptying the sky in a peacock eye where God is walking. Or not. Conspirators gather, accidents, histories, meteoric freedom blunders, any window, a spyglass passed from hand to hand, a journey of 10,000 miles, a holy manifestation, all things less. A warning, a sign, a new generation that refuses to yield. The golden age has returned. Freedom beyond grief and torment and terrible consequence, beyond lies, beyond the place where mothers of children cry. Martyrs, saints, the blind who know not what they do. Heaven is proud. People are imperfect. Look through any window. Signal, play of fountain, sunbeams flying in freedom, furious and vivid in hours through any window, vivid, sunlight in the peacock eye, martyrs, fighters, and free. Look through any window, freedom rising.
Yeah, I think you definitely succeeded in making it timeless. I don't think that has to be connected to a specific time. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, George, it's always good to talk to you. As I said earlier, you were my 13th guest on the podcast, and very lucky 13 for me. Very happy that I met you that day, and thank you for all that you do for other poets, because you're a very supportive person. You don't have a big ego about yourself, and you're really good to other poets in the community. So we all want to thank you.
Yeah, well, I saw my ego for bread.
And we'll all four of us. I mean, all five of us will see each other July 20th, 1 o'clock on the Algonquin stage at the New York City Poets Festival. Looking forward to seeing you again.
Hopefully, it'll be a hot summer sun.
Yes, maybe we'll get lucky.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for being a phone guest. My first one, I think.
Oh, great. All right. So I'll look forward to seeing this show with everybody else
Yes.
on it.
I'll send you the link for sure.
Great.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
So, see you. All right. That was fun.
Yeah.
All right. So where was I? You know, I was just curious because you guys were on my show. You were in the early stages, so it's kind of a long time ago. I don't remember this specifically, but I feel like you guys are all real New York City people. You were all born and raised here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I had a feeling you weren't, but is there anybody more New York City than him? That's right. I don't remember where you came from, but I do remember you telling me you moved here.
Born in Dayton, Ohio.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But how old were you when you?
When I came here?
Yeah.
36.
Oh, get the hell out of here!
Yeah.
Would you have guessed that?
But I lived in San Francisco
Oh,
for
okay.
a while. So,
Right.
I mean, I didn't stay in Ohio. So
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're so like Mr. Lower East Side, and a lot of poetry is about your environment.
Yeah, it is.
Are you a Queens girl? Do I have that right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And how about you?
I was born in Brooklyn, but I grew up in Yorkville, in Upper Manhattan.
Okay. So, like, when did you move up there?
When I was 4.
Oh, okay, so you don't remember Brooklyn.
I remember my parents had a black tile floor in the kitchen. That was my entire memory of living in Brooklyn.
And what's Yorkville?
Yorkville, like it's like surrounded by the Upper East Side,
Okay.
but it has a completely different character. It used to be the old Hungarian and German neighborhood
Oh, wow.
in the 80s,
Right.
all the way east.
Yeah. And Francine, where in Queens?
I grew up in Bayside.
Okay, yeah. And how about the city? When did you become a New York, Manhattan girl?
Well,
You're a Manhattan girl, right? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Well, I moved to Manhattan like in my late 20s, but then I left. I moved to Vermont, and then I lived in Buffalo, and then I moved back.
Oh.
And I moved back about 30 years ago.
So of all those places, what would have been your favorite one?
Well, I really liked all of them for different reasons.
Right.
I know that's being very diplomatic, but I loved Burlington.
Right. I like Vermont. It's beautiful
It's
up there.
beautiful there.
Yeah, it definitely is.
But I like them all.
But I hear Buffalo's some
Buffalo
good
is
things.
great.
Yeah,
Buffalo is really underrated.
Right.
And, everybody thinks about the snow and everything, but it's just like a warm place.
I was in a band with a husband and wife that moved down here from Buffalo.
Yeah.
It was very challenging to be in a band with a husband and wife, and they subsequently got divorced, which is not surprising. But Tom, the singer, he used to say that New York City is the city that never sleeps, and Buffalo is the city that never wakes up.
That's funny.
I don't know. So why don't we go back to the round robin? I guess you're next.
All right. It's another song.
Okay.
This one's called Monsters. I believe in monsters, born to human beings. I know 'cause I've dated some. Man, those monsters are mean. They got big old scary eyes, probably brown or blue. Forget it if they see you. There's no hope for you. Let the storms come. Let the winds blow. You give her your heart, and she'll steal your soul. She'll tell all your secrets. She'll seduce all your friends. You think you've escaped, but you can't wait to see her again. I believe in monsters, born to human beings.
Yeah. Francine?
Mother, father. My mother became both. After the father part left us one night, walked out into the rain, left footprints on the spring grass that dried up by morning and blew away. Mother, father went to work, got a job at the Five and Dime where they let her take home leftover stuff, the stuff that wouldn't sell, chipped ceramic ashtrays, a lidless saucepan she would use to fry up cheap hamburger, seasoned with too much salt. My brother didn't take it well. Told mother father to put a plate for my father at the head of the table. Then he pushed his own plate away like all of her excuses. Later, she'd try to tuck him in, but he'd ask for Dad, blame her for chasing him away with her plainness and her love of routine. Mother father tried to do boy things with him, anything to fill in the father space. Brought home toys from the store they were throwing out for newer models. Tiny soldiers he would line up and name the general after my father. Cap guns he'd load up and point at the world.
Yeah. Nice. So you write. I mean, I know you edit flash fiction, but you also write flash fiction.
Yes.
So so a lot of your poems are narrative, right?
I
Or
guess so,
or some of them anyway.
Yeah.
And so when you're writing something, you set out to write a short narrative poem, or like say, no, I'm going to do it longer and make it flash fiction? Because some of your things that could be, like what you just
Yeah.
read, could be turned into flash fiction, right?
Right,
think?
but I think the difference between like flash and poetry for me is flash has more room to just kind of keep going.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like the line breaks sort of create like a space around it. And that's kind of how I think about
Okay.
it.
Uh-huh. Which one do you like doing better?
I like them both.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know? Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Always diplomatic.
No, it's true though.
Yeah.
I really love them both.
Francine does not lie or pretend.
No, it's like in my poems are sometimes I have children, like we're just
Yeah.
big liars, you know.
Cool.
Well, I have one here actually that is dedicated to George Wallace, who we were just
Cool.
talking to.
Yeah.
And actually, he paid me a great compliment because I wanted to write something in his style. He's been an influence on me and a
Right.
friend. And
Right.
and I read it once when we were performing together. And after he said to me, "That's not a poem in the style of George Wallace. That's a George Wallace poem."
Wow.
And I thought
that's
that
a big
was
compliment.
high praise.
Hell
High
yeah.
praise.
Yeah.
And it's called "Sand is the Sound of Poetry" for George Wallace. The beach hasn't changed, and kids haven't changed, and the sun still shines, but the empire is collapsing, and goddamn, I still love the idea of America where you can drive without stopping and catch a fly ball and scream your truth in whatever meter suits you best. God damn, I love the idea of America imagined by French intellectuals under the boot of crown and cross. God damn, I love this idea hewn real by the English, built by the world, a world that needed a better metric than bloodlines and fiats and swords and stones to shape the future. Sand is the sound of soft shoe lullabies. Sand is the sound of construction crews. Sand is the sound of nothing to do under a summer sun. Sand is the sound of hurricane floods and saxophones and boardwalk love and morning cries and time slipping by. Sand is the sound of poetry. God damn.
All right. Cool. That definitely captures his essence. Did you do theater?
I was a drama student 150 million years ago,
Okay.
and I discovered I loved rehearsal and I hated actors, and and that was it.
No, I only ask because I feel like he reads kind of like he has that actor.
I think as poets, we're all poets, performance poets, and it's very important to understand performance as well as poetry. Those are two different
Yeah.
skill sets.
A lot of people
And a lot
don't
of
seem
people
to be
don't.
able to do both.
And
Yeah.
it's heartbreaking because we all know poets who are great on the page,
Right.
and you'll hear them read, and you're just
Right.
like, oh my god! And controversially, that's not the word I'm looking for. Sorry, English just left my mind. But we also know poets who their poetry is good, but then when they're on stage, it becomes
something
transcendent.
different, right.
It's, I think of Robert Gibbons, for instance, just off the top of my head. He's a great poet. His you read his poems, they're fantastic. But when he performs his poems, you're just in another world. They're amazing.
Wow. Okay.
And,
I'll have to look out for him. Yeah. Is he a city person?
He's been off the scene for a couple of years doing
Okay.
some self-care.
Right.
But I talk to him every now and again. He says he will be coming back.
All right. Well, maybe when he does, if you hook me up for the podcast.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to read Dream of What Was. I think we have time for one more round after that.
Okay.
I don't always play the notes clean anymore. My hands are worn and no longer lithe. The words stumble out 'cause life has been hard, and memories get mixed like buttons in a coin jar. Friends have come and gone, many have died. I sing about them all without really trying, on old creaky stages that are soon to be torn down. I carry my case home that has gotten heavier with time, and I struggle to get the key into the lock's door because it's bent and ready to crack. The door opens into the dark, lonely boarding house room, made more so now that you are gone. I lay my guitar down with care like it's a baby. It's my only possession in a world full of plenty. Sorry, I left out worth. My only possession of worth in a world full of plenty. I turn on the lamp with its bulb that flickers, and I look around at my bare and stark surroundings. It's late in the night, and I'm flat out tired, so I lay my weary body down on a bed that's warped and crooked, and I'll dream of what was, not what lies ahead. It just seems like a better option at this stage of my life. It's funny because occasionally, because this is a fairly old poem, and I wrote a poem this week that both of them were based on a sentence that I liked. Like I had a sentence, and then I'm going to build around that. So I was taking, when you go home, when you take your change out of your pocket and you put it in a jar or a dish, I had thrown it in a. Actually, I have a bunch of them in different places in the house. This is funny, but this one's in my bedroom. I forgot to do it earlier in the day. And it's actually a duck ashtray that I made in middle school in shop class, like a clay duck. Anyway, I looked in it and there was a button in it. And I just got that image of buttons mixed in a coin jar. And then I wrote a poem around it. You guys ever have that happen to you? Think of just like that one idea, one sentence, and you write a poem around it? Or
Done it with songs.
Yeah,
Many times.
I have one poem that finally turned into haiku that I really love, got published by Great Weather for Media. But I had this line I tried to write into poem for probably 2 years, and I could not find the poem for it. I kept writing poems there, and it turned out they were all too big for the line, and the line was really gentle. And I finally wrote a haiku that sings.
Perfect, yeah.
What's the line?
I'll tell you the whole haiku, I think, is probably the easiest way to get to it. It was, don't worry, sparrow, I don't envy your ability to fly. The sky begins at the ground. And that idea of the sky beginning at the ground was something that I've carried with me for a long time.
That's a great line.
And
it's especially as an end.
Yeah.
It's a tombstone thing, too.
Right. That's right. Okay, let's go around one more time.
All right. This is a poem that I read a lot when I end a show, so I'll read it here. It's called Pigeons. Rats with wings, shit for brains, evolution's remorse. If startled, they don't fly, they run. Pigeon pleasure or humiliation. I saw a pigeon on a third-floor fire escape. Shit on a pigeon on a second-floor fire escape.
You got such a great sense of humor. You definitely do. Francine?
Well, I'm going to break and read a little flash fiction.
Cool. All right.
Driving in the CVS. I'm in an Alfa Romeo, not the fancy kind, not the Fellini kind, but the kind you might see in a dream. Not a fancy dream, not a Sleeping Beauty dream. More of a too much tequila and what was I thinking dream. Anyway, I drive into the shampoo aisle and boom, there's my sister and she's alive again. Not in the stealing all my boyfriends kind of way, but more in the well, we did share DNA kind of way. And I'm driving in the way she would like, fast and careless, but not in the careless way I stitched together in a dream kind of way, but more in a it's just easier to go along with kind of way. And while I need shampoo, my Alpha needs gas. Not the cheap no-lid kind, but more of the kind with the delicious, awful smell that shakes your nostrils open and you find yourself sniffing again and again. And then my sister hands me a bottle of shampoo, not the kind I want, but the kind she wants. And she hands it to me in a rough kind of way, not in the soft, icky way she would used to tell me, oh, yes, I stole your boyfriend. And before I knew it, she was driving my Alfa Romeo. Doesn't even need a key. And she's washing my hair with gasoline, but not in the soap commercial, look at all that lather kind of way, but in a you should have kept your eye on your boyfriend kind of way. And then she drives out of the CVS, my hair dries, and it's still dirty and stinking now of gasoline. And I check my feet to see if they're still there because I do need them to walk home. That is, if my sister hasn't taken them too.
All right. I swear, a lot of times when you're reading that, it's almost feel like you're reading your story. You know, you really get into your story. Yeah. Matthew?
I'm trying to decide whether I want to do something political, something sad. You reminded me of one line here, but I think I'm going to end with something a little more hopeful.
Okay.
So, well,
I was hoping for the political, but that's okay.
I could do political. I write a lot of political shit because we are neck deep in fucking fascism, and
now
poets are the line.
Go out the way you want to go.
All right, I'll do it this. So this is a very new one. It's called Sonder, which is actually a new word. It's less than 10 years old, and it means it's the emotion you have when you suddenly realize that everyone else around you also has a full, emotional, complete life inside of them.
How's it spelled?
Sonder.
That was going to be my guess.
So Sonder.
Thank you for the new word.
Midnight M15. Heading home on 420, somewhat drunk on poetry and whiskey and the performance high of the Monday night cabaret open mic that's starting to feel like home if home was a Werner Herzog circus. A bus at midnight is thick with specific gravity, context-free and karma unbonded, fluorescent reality gently existential, a business suit who needs to put down the iPhone, the women lost in a memory of that one time, the headphones and hoodie hunched in the back, blue scrubs and red Crocs of a 12-hour shift, and too much pain to allow sleep, oh sleep, to come easy, teens burning from eye to eye, unaware of anyone else, a poet scribbling illegibly over every pothole and taxi swerve, each with their own first-child radius of late-night life. I take that moment free of context and noise in a fellowship of motion and decide the hurt might not still be bleeding, just habit, and for the first time in a while, I feel all right.
All right. And we all feel all right, too, now. So now I'm going to read the one that I mentioned that I wrote after having a sentence. And I was going to move my car, for alternate side of the street parking. Anybody else have a car? No, okay. So you can't relate to it. It's at this point I almost don't need a car anymore, and I'm really every time I have to go move it, I'm like, do I need a car? Anyway, so I was moving the car, and I just listened to a piece of music that really got me down deep, and I was thinking that it was like a feeling so deep I didn't know I had it, and then that was the line that I wrote that made me write this poem. It's called "Stay." She was missing a limb. I didn't ask why, but her beauty shook me so that I began to cry. Feeling so deep, I didn't know I had it, but just like that, I turned away and she was gone. But the ache remained, and I thought of her for days, wondering if I would see her again, and if yes, would she stay longer this time? So what happened was I went to the car, I sat in the car, and I wrote that line, and I looked out the window, and a really attractive woman walked by with a missing limb. So this is kind of based on that. Yeah. Nice. It was like as I was writing that line, I saw that, So that's where that poem came from. I'm getting a Charlie horse here. So I'm going to have to get up soon. You know what we're going to do? So usually before I do you guys, if you've seen, I don't know if I was doing it when you were on it, but now I get my guests to do like a little brief. I'm going to be the next guest on Storytelling on Orchard Street, and they say their name. But instead of doing that, what I'm going to do is, while I'm talking about it, so I should say that I am going to get you guys, so everybody go around and say your name.
Wayne Kral.
Francine Witte.
Matthew Hupert.
Pete Solomita. We're all the next guests on Storytelling on Orchard Street, so tune in. It'll be airing soon. Okay, so now we're done. Not officially done, but that's how we're going to end it. You guys have a last thought you'd like to throw out there? Something we missed that you want people to know, or Wayne?
Gosh, I got 3 more readings. I guess the things that I've been doing lately is that I never thought was, one is the film.
Right.
And then I also...
Is that going to be shown anyway? You said it's a student film, but...
He said that he can't show it commercially because it has to have amateur status to get in certain festivals.
Oh, okay, right.
So he can't, at some point.
Right.
We talked about doing it at 1-on-1.
Oh.
Like showing it
Oh,
in the
be a great
basement.
idea, yeah.
So maybe we'll get to do that.
Yeah, make sure we all know about it.
And then Bina Sharif? Bina asked me to be the voice of God in her play.
Wow.
So we recently...
How does it feel to be God?
I don't exist. So that's been kind of interesting. So it's odd that lately this year I've been doing, I did this radio series where I'm the host, and then I'm doing this thing with Bina and Kevin Martin.
Wow.
So kind of interesting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
cool.
Francine, any parting way thoughts?
Well, first of all, thank you.
You're welcome.
And this was a really nice afternoon.
Yeah, it's been great. I really enjoyed this.
And I'm always, I'm always writing and submitting and all that. And I have, again, 2 flash journals that I edit. And the best thing is, like, if you want to find out about me, FrancineWitte.com.
Yeah, great. Thank you
It's
for
all
putting
there.
that. I'll put it. Have Jill
Yeah.
put that on the credits.
Yeah.
At the end. Matthew.
I have 2 readings coming up in the near future. I'm featuring with a bunch of other great poets at Eve Packer's reading, which takes place at Unnameable Books
Oh,
on
great.
Vanderbilt Avenue in Brooklyn. That'll
What's-
be, I think it's June 6th.
Oh, okay.
June 10th? No, I think it's June 6th.
June 6th is a Saturday because I'm
Saturday.
doing a podcast.
Yeah,
that day.
I think it's that day.
Right.
And then the same day that I'm appearing with on your stage at the Governor's Island Festival on the 19th, I also have a stage time that afternoon at 4 p.m.
Oh,
Octavio Quintanilla should be coming up from San Antonio.
Huh.
And this
Good for you.
a young poet that I met at this open mic that I mentioned in that poem on Monday nights is reading. And
great.
Aren't you reading for me in June?
oh yeah, what's the date on that?
It's either the 15th or the 29th. I think it's the 29th.
Yeah, I totally forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for the reminder.
Sure.
I have 3 readings coming up
Right,
in the near
right,
future.
right.
Yeah, and I'll be reading for Wayne Kral, which is I love reading for him. He
It's a
hosts
great,
a good show.
It's a great series. You both host great series,
thank
and I
you.
apologize for not going more often, but it's my stupid work schedule, getting up 4:30 in the morning. It's like,
Blame it on your car.
yeah,
And then, as I said, I have the monthly the 3rd Thursday of every month is
Yes.
a really good open mic, and everyone's invited to come on.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky.
It's a great. It's
The quality
it's
of
well
people I
done.
get
It's
on the
always
open
good.
mic
Yeah.
is because
Yeah.
you can expect anything on an open mic, and
It's
yet
true.
I still consistently get good people, which is a blessing.
Okay, so again, the reason for this fantastic roundtable of artists, poets, writers, musicians, cooks, was because we're going to be, again, one more time I'll say this, we're all sharing the stage, the Algonquin stage, on Sunday, July 19th at 1 o'clock at the New York City Poetry Festival. And one more plug for the Very Swell Variety Show. The next one is June 20th, 3:30 to 6. We have a new start time. And then in August 15th will be the one after that, and we're going to have a short open mic for first 10 people that show up. So again, Wayne, Francine, Matthew, and George on the phone, you guys rock, and thank you for being guests. This has been Storytelling on Orchard Street. I'm your host, Pete Solomita, and of course we're in the podcast studios of P&T Knitwear Bookstore on 180 Orchard Street. It's a great bookstore, a lot of awesome titles of books to look at and buy, and a nice cafe in the back, and seating and events and blah, blah, blah. And thank you all for tuning into this special edition, the New York City Poetry Festival edition of Storytelling on Orchard Street. Thank you all, and thank you, my guests.